It's not just about being from outside of Washington. It's not just about new, fresh ideas that are proven out there. I think in the end, the most important thing, not just for our nominee, whoever it might be in 2016, but for all of us supporting that nominee and supporting for others on the ballot, we've got to make that personal connection to the voters. That what we really stand for is empowering each and every one of them to live their piece of the American dream. We decided to make that decision to get in the race because we were afraid as parents that our children were going to grow up in a state that wasn't as great as the Wisconsin we grew up in. I don't know about all of you, but as a parent, I just said that's fundamentally unacceptable. Just fundamentally unacceptable. A week ago, Monday at the inauguration, those two boys, Matt and Alex, 19 and 20, did my wife, their mother, and I proud by being the masters of ceremony for that inaugural event. And I was proud to say in my address that because of our reforms in the great state of Wisconsin, they're now growing up in a state that's even better than the state that I grew up in. I look at our country, and I'm worried about our country the same way I was worried about my state back in 2009. I'm worried that my sons, Matt and Alex, and others in their generation, and someday, God willing, I'm lucky that Tonette and I are grandparents, hopefully not too soon, but someday when we're grandparents or we look at not only that generation, but those yet unborn, I look at the future and I'm worried, not just on an economic standpoint, but I'm worried when it comes to the safety of this world. I'm worried that they might not grow up in an America as great as the country we grew up in. And I hope you join with me tonight in saying that as parents and grandparents and as Americans, the idea that the next generation might grow up in a country that's not at least as great as the one we grew up in is fundamentally unacceptable. Fundamentally unacceptable. I think we have a unique opportunity going forward, not only for the good of this party, but more importantly for the good of this country, to find a new, fresh leader out there that can take big, bold ideas, take ideas that come from outside of Washington, from in the states and all the way down to the grassroots, and do so in a way that hopefully has the backing of a track record, a proven track record of success to show that common sense conservative reforms can work not just in Wisconsin, but they can work all across America. Most overwhelmingly likely that Hillary Clinton, the former Secretary of State, is going to be the nominee for the other party. And I think the other big loser on November 4th wasn't just Washington and the president, it was Hillary Rodham Clinton. Let me tell you why. The reason Hillary Clinton was the big loser is because she embodies Washington. She lives in Washington. She worked in Washington for this president and his administration. She worked in Washington when she was part of the United States Senate. She lived in Washington when she was part of the White House along with her husband when he was president of the United States. You look at everything that people dislike about Washington, she embodies it. You know, Washington has that top-down, go along to get along, government knows best mentality. That's something of the past. What we need is a contrast to that says we need a fresh, new perspective that says the answers to the ailments of our nation do not come out of our nation's capital. They come not only out of our states, but more importantly from the people of the state at the grassroots. We need a bottom-up approach that says we're going to embrace the grassroots to restore this great country. The big government special interest in Washington had picked a candidate, and it was anybody but me. And the reason for it was simple. It was simple. It wasn't just because I was a Republican. It was because we took the power out of the hands of the big government special interest, and we put it firmly in the hands of the hard-working taxpayers, and they didn't much like that. We have the ability to make that case. And if you don't remember anything else, I said the best argument I make to people about why Republicans stand with everyday Americans is that we believe in the American dream and we understand there's a reason why people take a day off in this country to celebrate the 4th of July and not the 15th of April. It's because in America, we celebrate our independence from the government, not our dependence on it. Thank you for what you've done to help this party. Thank you, more importantly, for what you've done to help this great country. Let's keep it up going forward. God bless you, and God bless this great country.